Hello my fellow gamers, and welcome once again to Perafilozof SimCity Let's Plays. Let's continue on with the fourth city, which I have spent some time in, trying to get the ground pollution to be cleared up and getting up to medium density. Now let me get you through the changes, some of which are pretty obvious, some of which are not. First of all, the city is up to medium density pretty much all over. I have medium density industry, medium density residential, and medium density commercial. I have quite a nice balance sheet here that shows you that I'm earning almost 25,000 per hour. As for the ground pollution, there is still a lot of it, and I have also created some of my own with the industry. Now that part is okay, but this part here is very annoying. I have only a few places where I can plop new buildings in this circle here. Okay, it's not really a circle, but in this side, in the inside of the city. And there is only one spot here, one spot here, one spot here, and two small spots over here. Now, you will notice that this is quite strange, that the ground pollution has this straight line here, and it stays on that line for probably around this city for, 3.5 years, and this line is still here. So, pretty funny how this ground pollution works. Now, if you look at the radiation and ground pollution at the same time, you will notice that there isn't really a correlation. So it doesn't matter where the ground pollution is, it's not being created by the radiation, which is good news. Now let's look over the utilities. I haven't even turned on all the upgrades of the solar power plant, yet I'm producing more than this city even needs. It is going to need a bit more once I start the fuel and plastic production, but this thing can still produce a hell of a lot of power that is going to satisfy some other cities and not just itself. The same with water and sewage capacity. The garbage is all being picked up. I do have a lot of garbage, but a lot of garbage potential as well. So it's all being picked up. As for the fires, I do not really have a problem with it. When it comes to the health, well, the hospital and the clinic always have people in them. The clinic is almost going up to full capacity because it's so close to so many industrial buildings that create a lot of sick and injured sims. So I will try and add another upgrade to it, although there isn't really room. So that will have to stay at 25 capacity. But I can upgrade the hospital, and with more than a few upgrades. I can add another ambulance bay, which will give me 2 ambulances, which is always a good idea. I can add the wellness center that is going to help remove some of the germs, which is something that I absolutely need in this city. When it comes to the patient waiting rooms, I don't really need more capacity, 50 is enough. Emergency rooms would allow my sims to survive longer after getting injured, but I'm not really having a problem with sims not being picked up, so I don't really need that. The faster diagnosis, allowing sims to get back up to their feet fast isn't really necessary, considering that I have probably around 30,000 sims and only 100 of them are sick at the same time. It's not really a big deal. So what I will need is another wellness center. Now I do have a lot of criminals. You can see that I have 8 prisoners in the jail cells at the moment. I have 7 criminals at large. Now why do I have so many criminals? Well, there is a small problem with education. Now I do have a high school that is upgraded to 2,800 capacity, has 8 school buses. I do also have a public library that is very visited every day to the max. But you can still see that there are kids and not just students in my city. Now what exactly is the trick? Well, let me show you. I will run the game at 3x speed and show you what happens when the school day starts. You can see that I have 3,000 students, 1,800 of which are educated. Now that number shows only the sims that are educated inside this city. Now remember, I do have high schools in almost every other city. High school buses are the ones that travel between the cities. So if you have a high school in this city and bus stops in another city, the high school buses that are in this city will also go into that city and pick up the kids. And that is exactly what is happening here. My school buses in this city pick up these kids and also go outside the city to pick up other kids, while the school buses from other cities are now going to invade this city. Any minute now. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now any kids that get picked up by these school buses that come from the other cities will not come back in time when the school is out. And that will lead to new kids spawning in these buildings. And if they are kids, they're not educated, they're not students. So that is why my education always stays lower than it should be, because I get new kids instead of the kids that were driven off to be educated in other cities. And that is what creates the problem of not all of these buildings being educated and creating criminals. But there is another significant fact. I do have some unemployment. For whatever reason, the Sims from this city do not commute out to other cities in the same number that the Sims from the other cities were commuting to this city. You remember at the start of this city, when I only had industry, I had like 1000 Sims commuting in from the other cities to work in here. But these Sims, even though they're unemployed, will not commute out. Now, I'm not sure how to fix that. I'm going to try in several ways. The first thing I am going to do is I'm going to add some transportation. I will need a shuttle bus depot with a lot of shuttle buses to try and get these Sims to move around this city with less car traffic, which should free up more traffic time for school buses and these municipal shuttle buses to pick up the Sims to go into other cities. I will plop one parking ride over here for the guys that want to go to the passenger train station or are coming from it. I will plop some more parking rides in this part of the city where there is a lot of Sims. And over here as well. And over here. Now I will also need some bus stops. Especially in the industrial park. Now, we shall see if that helps out with both the traffic, the education, and then linked with the criminal problem. Another way to fix the unemployment is to start up my oil specialization. Since I do have a heck of a lot of oil here, I can build some oil wells here, and some oil refineries here and here. I'm going to choose the guide me and wait for the first pop-up. There we go. Oil fields, purely crude. It requires me to have an oil well. Now let's plop one. I need to see where do I plop it so that the Sims working won't get sick from the ground pollution or the radiation. Well, looks like about here. Then again, there is radiation here, but there isn't here. But then there is ground pollution here. Okay, let's try something else. Maybe over here. Bit less radiation and a lot less ground pollution. Bulldoze these that are not on the oil and plop some service roads to get them to go on the oil. There we go, that's half of the oil field used. Now some more oil delivery trucks. And we are going to need a trade depot. Now because I have the trade HQ in another city, I could build a trade port, which can house far more of these goods. Now I have buried this train track here, so I'm not really going to be able to plop the trade port on the rails, so I will satisfy with having it just use the roads. But I could use this exit here from the tunnels to connect the trade depot to go and take the goods directly to this tunnel, because from this tunnel it can go outside the city. The only issue is, does it require going out this way or this way? Because if it is up here and through this tunnel, then I can connect this tunnel with a street like this, have the trade depot about here, and then it will export directly out. If I said trade depot, I meant trade port. Let's see just about the radiation pollution. Well, the radiation is okay, and the pollution is kind of problem, but if I place it here, it won't be. Oil storage lots. Alright, I do not have a commercial division at the Petroleum HQ or the Petroleum division at the Trade HQ. Right, well, that will have to be unlocked during the building of this city then. I kinda forgot about that. Okay, then for now I will be using a trade depot after all. Oh, I guess it can be plopped about here. Crude oil storage lots. Now that this is done, I should reduce the number of unemployed workers. At least once they actually start going into these buildings. What's the next mission? Patrol. Plop a trade depot, add a crude oil storage lot, and 960,000 in the sales. Well, I only need to export to complete the third objective. And in order to trade more easily, I should do what I had planned for the trade port with the trade depot. Now, this is going to change the way these guys enter the city, because they might start using this street to go in here instead of this tunnel to go here, but we'll see what happens with that. I also do have a lot of traffic in these streets which lead to the industry, so I might want to upgrade the medium density avenues to high density avenues. Now that the avenues are high density avenues, they will have 6 lanes instead of 4 as they used to. So that should help with the amount of traffic that is going through them. Has the old well started working? Yep, we are producing 750 barrels per day for now. Trade depot has yet to start working. Hopefully it will soon. I should close the trade port for now, since I don't really have a use for it. You can take a look at the Sims using the buses. Low wealth residents, 1,100, almost 2,000 tourists. That's really annoying, because they don't really need them. And the train station used by 3,800 low wealth residential. Now that's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, my trees seem to be decimated while they're trying to clean up the pollution, so I will need to replant a lot of these trees. The trade depot is now operational. The oil well is getting more and more barrels of oil per day extracted, so I should be able to finish up these missions pretty quickly. After them, I'm most likely going to get the one to build the oil HQ, or is it the refining HQ? No, the petroleum HQ, that is. Here we go. The first mission is done. Extracted 2,000 barrels of oil in one day. Now I just have to earn 60,000 from the sale of crude oil. That shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, the trucks that are going to export the oil are coming in from the left side, which is kinda annoying because all the traffic is coming from the left side, almost none from the right side, and that may create some traffic difficulties. when exporting. We shall see how that works out later on once I even get the refineries up and running. I have much more to export. Now let's see what's going to happen with the education today that we have changed quite a few things. Here we go, it's almost 6 AM and we should be able to see what will happen. Now all the kids have become kids and they're not students anymore. And we'll see just how many students will we have by the end of the school day. It seems that I managed to reduce the traffic enough for the region's high school buses to get out of my city much faster than the last few days. The last few days they would leave at 2 PM, now they are leaving at 11 AM, which means that they might even be able to bring the kids back, but we'll have to wait and see. My own high school has managed to pick up around 1,900 students, and nope, again we have kids popping up for the kids that were taken to the other cities. And now you see where my education problem comes from. I get new kids instead of getting back the old kids as students. So having high schools in every city in a region will still create this kind of a problem. I'm never going to have the entire city educated because every day I get new kids spawning instead of the old ones becoming students and going back to their homes. The only way to fix this problem is to have only libraries, community colleges, and grade schools in cities. High school is not a good idea. Here's the mission for continuing the old specialization. Fill her up. Like I said, the Petroleum HQ headquarters mission. I need to extract a few more barrels of oil and then I will be able to unlock and plop the Petroleum HQ. Here we go, Petroleum HQ has been unlocked. Now let's see where exactly can I plop it. Well, I guess it could work here. It is going to be a little irradiated, but maybe radiation is not as bad as ground pollution. Here's a new mission. Oil fields, darkest rain. What do I need to do? I need to plop another oil well, add 2 more oil pumping jacks, and extract more oil. Well, that can be done up here. Just see where the ground pollution is and the radiation. Ugh, that's a lot of radiation. Well, gotta do what I gotta do. That's the oil well. And I probably need 2 more pumping jacks. Yep. Here's 2 more pumping jacks. 1 delivery truck. I'm constantly getting this pop-up to weld up, but honestly I do not need to. Everything in the city is working without any high weld sims and without 99% of medium weld sims. So the low weld sims can operate everything in the city, and I finally do not have enough of them because of all of these buildings that I have just plopped. Crude oil refined. There we go. The mission to get an oil refinery. But I need to upgrade the Petroleum HQ. In order to upgrade it, I need to get some more profits. It shouldn't be that difficult because I'm extracting 12,000 barrels per day in this one, and probably will extract around 2-3,000 from this one, which means that the trade depot should be able to sell everything necessary to unlock the level 2 Petroleum HQ. Here we go, this mission has been completed, and now I only need to complete this one. The crime will keep being a problem because the education keeps being a problem. I will probably have to do a major overhaul of the education system in all of my cities, and instead of having high schools, to plop just grade schools and libraries. But I will do that off screen. I won't bore you with that. This is interesting. 6,000 recycling bins and still none of them collected. Should I not be getting some recycling trucks? I think I'm going to have to plop a recycling center in this city as well. Recycling center, and I will go with plastic. Since I can make plastic from the oil refinery, I will make plastic with the recycling center as well. Now all I have to do is add a plastic storage lot to this trade depot and set it to export. Whoa, 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 no, not high density. Not high density industrial. I forgot about that this is a high density avenue and that they will build high density industry. No, 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 that is definitely not what I want. High density industrial is very bad for you because not only does it need a hell of a lot of workers, not only can it produce huge fires, it is also not a good production of freight. Therefore, you do not wish to have high density industrial. I do now have a lot more sims using the buses. Over 5,000 low volt sims are using the buses, so the traffic should be quite lighter now than it has been before. Yep, there isn't that many cars on the roads. There is this huge influx of traffic here, but it's not staying here for long. It's going through this tunnel all the way to the other side, and we do have some traffic jams in here, it seems. But they do seem to clear up pretty fast. My Petroleum HQ can now be upgraded to level 2, and I can plop the refining division. Now that I have the refining division plopped, I can build the refinery. And the place I'm going to choose is over here. The first upgrade is plastic. I will leave it online. I will add one for fuel, another for plastic, and one more for fuel. Or will I? Oh, here we go. Some more delivery trucks. And now my specialization is totally up and running. I will just have to make sure to plop the trade HQ so that I can unlock the storage lots for the trade depot. Let's see, where do I plop this one? Guess here. Ugh, or not. Over here? Nope. Maybe here? Nope, I need that space for the storage lots. Why can't it be plopped here? Oh, the street isn't straight. That should be an easy fix. There we go. And it should be ploppable now. There we go. I'm just not sure where am I going to plop the expansion. Maybe I will need to add a street first for that. There we go, and I can plop the expansion here. Trade HQ is up and running, and I do need the trade depot. order to be able to plop some fuel storage lots, as well as some more plastic ones. Here I think the fuel is produced one crude oil and you produce two plastic, but you take one crude oil and you produce only one fuel. So I'm going to need more of the plastic storage lots. I'm not sure why Maxis made it so. The plastic is a clear winner. I only made the fuel ones because I do not really care about how much money do I make, but the plastic production facilities are definitely the winner here, because you get two plastic for one oil, and plastic sells for more if I'm not mistaken. Plastic sells for 26 and the fuel sells for 21. So yeah, you get more than double the amount of money if you're producing just plastic and not fuel. But you do need the fuel for some great works, so there's that. I can now expand this oil well with some more pumping jacks, because I do need a lot more crude oil extracted for my refinery. Let's see what's new here. Mission 2, Fantastic Plastic. Refine 2,400 crates of plastic and export it on the global market, no problem. Trading HQ should be upgradable very soon as they start exporting fuel and plastic, because they are much more profitable. Oh, and on that regard, I really should stop exporting crude oil. I forgot about that. Another mission. Really big business. Earn more, upgrade the Petroleum HQ to Petroleum Incorporated. I guess that's level 3. And add a commercial division to the Petroleum HQ. Well, I don't really need a commercial division, that is why I plopped the Trading HQ. So I don't really have to do this mission. Well, I'm pretty happy with how this city has turned out. The only issue I have is the bad education system and lots of criminals, but I told you how I'm going to fix that. So I believe this pretty much concludes this video. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.